When I was around 12, I saw this movie playing on TV late one summer night, and it scared me so bad I couldn't revisit it until last year. It probably is not what you think, so let's get into Tamara. Welcome back. This week we have some exciting stuff to talk about. First, from executive producers, the boys are back. Benson and Moorhead, we have a new film, Touch Me. This is going to be a sick little flick, and I cannot wait to watch it. Lou Taylor Pucci is playing some weird Jared Leto alien hybrid, and I am pumped. Go watch the trailer immediately. It comes from the director of the movie Hypochondriac. Also, we got a trailer-ish. We got a render for the Backrooms. I don't know how confident I am in this, but Rebecca Hall will star, and it's coming from A24, so who knows? Now that Stranger Things has wrapped, we have Winona Ryder joining the cast of Wednesday. I feel like it took way too long, but she is the OG. She is the blueprint, and I am so excited to see her in the next season. We can possibly expect Mike Flanagan's Carrie series for this October, and I would formally like to announce my love and affection for Lily Reinhart. I love her. I can't wait to see her in Forbidden Fruits. And before I wrap up with the horror news, we're getting In a Violent Nature 2 and Heart Eyes 2. We are in such a good era of horror right now. I just wish we would get better titles for sequels. Okay, let's talk about this damn movie, Tamara, from 2005, directed by Jeremy Haft and written by Jeffrey Reddick, who I'll talk more about in just a minute. Tamara, an unattractive girl who is picked on by her peers, returns after her death as a sexy seductress to exact revenge. Okay, so let me begin with Jeffrey Reddick. He is so cool. He is the writer of Final Destination 1 and 2, the remake of Day of the Dead, and today's movie Tamara, and so many other projects. When he was writing Final Destination, it was originally pitched as an episode of The X-Files. I'm pretty sure you can search and read the entire treatment for that episode, but anyways, it was initially pitched as Scully's mysterious brother being the one on the plane having the premonitions. I think that is so cool. It's a really awesome idea. It's such a grand idea, and it just became Final Destination, and then it branched into this series that we have today, and I just thought that was a really fun fact to tie into today's movie. Jeffrey Reddick rocks. Okay, back to this damn movie. It follows Tamara Riley, a painfully shy and bullied high school outcast with a fascination for witchcraft. After a cruel prank by her classmates accidentally leads to her death, Tamara returns from the grave transformed, no longer insecure, but hyper-confident, seductive, and armed with deadly superpowers. And what follows is more of a glossy, mid-2000s blend of sort of like a Mean Girls era teen drama with occult revenge fantasy elements as she systematically punishes those responsible for her death while exposing the rot beneath the suburban high school. The film is extremely camp. It is so melodramatic, and it's definitely, it leans into eroticized horror, even though it is more of like these are teenagers, which I don't love, but You can tell these people are not teenagers, but it ultimately frames Tamara as both the victim and the villain, a tragic figure whose desire, her want to be seen so badly and to be loved, it morphs into something more monstrous. The revenge in this movie, it's pretty much one by one the people who killed Tamara having to experience what she had to experience in her death, buried alive, her rebirth cycle. We get some pretty gnarly effects, I will say. Tamara physically forces a character to press a shard of glass into their own face. We get maggots in slices in arms. Another character is physically seduced and manipulated in a weird way. And worst of all, Tamara uses her powers to essentially make someone's body turn against itself, and the girl begins vomiting blood, and it escalates into a kind of internal implosion. And when I saw this movie, I was 12, and in the height of my emetophobia, it was really bad. It was very traumatic for me. I was very into this movie until that point. It was cool, and then I saw this over-the-top puke scene, and I ran out of my room screaming and had to have my mom turn the TV off. And I remember that vividly because I thought about this movie a lot up until last year. I figured it was time for me to get over it and face my fears, and finally finished the movie. And while, yeah, it's not great, it still does have some wince-inducing effects. There are parallels to Stephen King's Carrie, and they are intentional. A bullied girl, some telekinetic style powers, high school humiliation, a revenge fantasy, but Tamara pivots by sexualizing and glamorizing the transformation rather than framing it as something weird, tragic, something to be gawked at. The witchcraft elements are more stylistic than research-based, I have to add. The production leaned into visual symbolism and sensual ritual imagery rather than actual authentic Wiccan or occult practice, which kind of makes it feel like it's one step away from our future, like it's just outside of it. The movie focuses on humiliation, seduction, and psychological dominance as the violence. The gore is secondary, but it still packs a punch in this whole power fantasy. And maybe that's why the people who are in this movie look like they're 30 and are playing high school characters, because it is supposed to be like some sort of fantasy, just a revenge fantasy, just a little bit outside of our timeline. I don't know. But that's Tamara, a glossy, chaotic time capsule of the mid-2000s supernatural revenge subgenre. It's definitely not reinventing the wheel at all, but there is something fascinating about the way it blends the teen melodrama, the occult fantasy, and that very specific bullied girl becomes some sort of untouchable goddess transformation. It's messy, it's campy, it's quite mean-spirited, and honestly, that's kind of the appeal. This came out in the heavy torture porn era, in the era of Hostel and all of those films, and I feel like it's cool to have a movie with a female in the lead taking the revenge, taking the power back into her own hands. If you revisit it, let me know. Does it feel like a forgotten cult gem or a relic of peak 2000s angst? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And in saying all of that, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening and for being weird. I'll talk to you in the next video. And hey, maybe be nice to the quiet girl in the back of the classroom. You never know what she's capable of. Sayonara, suckers.